I just hit the stop. I don't wanna speak. Talking all that good, so I just hit you with the plays. Running up the score like Tyreek, I'm going deep. Watch me how I'm saucing, I be spreading it with ease. You gon' see the peace. You gon' see the flex when you hear these writtens. Trust me, you know the difference. I got a long ways to climb before you see a slippage. I see the process and the journey I'm supposed to be, but perplexed, cause I don't really see nobody close to me. Hopefully this ain't wasted, and I know it ain't. You gotta take the time for seasoning to marinate. You need the patience and the pressure just to detonate. I'm trying to blow up and these heathens need to get it straight. Gifted with a vision and precision, I'm just trying to make it high key. Might be breaking free like I was Zion in some Nikes. Tucked at the crib, bro, you know just where to find me. Making beats and spitting crack verses pretty likely. Yeah, socks with the burst, boy, I ain't changed a bit. Normal guy till I die, you know what it is. You probably thought I'd give up now that I got some kids, but really now I got these arrows aiming at your ribs. I don't wanna talk. How you try and press the kid and really you was soft. All you know is capping, homie, you don't know the law. Pedal to the metal, you ain't catching me in park. I just hit the stop. I don't wanna speak. Talking all that good, so I just hit you with the plays. Running up the score like Tyreek, I'm going deep. Watch me how I'm saucing, I be spreading it with ease. You gon' see the peas. Hey, please be on the notice, these my motives. Bought my chicken and it's rotis. You parsimonious, you take it all cause you a locust. My focus is to grow this mission. A visionary, get a dictionary. We here off the rip and we ain't sharing, we just caring. Let me speak it to the manager. We damage her, no you ain't messing with an amateur. I'm ramming, the competition ain't standing up. They fanning from left to right cause now they branded us. Now who that is? Mike Jones, they ain't want me now, they all on me. Got counterfeits trying to play me, I guess they thinking I'm Sony. These big head dummies showing up and out of their character. Homie, you need a price cause without it the squad ain't hearing you. Top of that, we ain't fearing yet. We swinging for the fences with the sting of a left hook that connects with Sonny Liston. I'm dismissing any and all of the disrespect. Nonetheless, it ain't a threat, I'm just letting y'all know who's next. I don't wanna talk. How you try and press the kid and really you was soft. All you know is capping, homie, you don't know the law. Pedal to the metal, you ain't catching me in park. I just hit the start. I don't wanna speak. Talking all that good, so I just hit you with the plays. Running up the score like Tyreek, I'm going deep. Watch me how I'm saucing, I be spreading it with ease. You gon' see the peas, you gon' see the...
What's next for me, Joe? I'm gonna get that second bell. Where the is it? They should have had them 2 bells ready. Space shine for me.
Yeah. Head up in the clouds, all they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test, now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, so nobody's into me. I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I've been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up for my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working them up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in mine, yeah.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like, yeah, you about to see me on demand like, you know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go. On a roll, here we go, here we go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Frankie Candles live stream every single weekday right here at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And Mafia, I need a favor. I don't really like asking for stuff, but I need you guys to let me know if the volume is good. We had a little bit of a problem with the audio. Hopefully I'm loud enough. Let me know. Hit me with some green check marks, some candles. Give me some kind of indication that you guys can hear me. But what is going on, Mafia? Welcome back to another amazing live stream. And we got a lot to talk about as Bitcoin is continuing to tap its head on this key level of resistance. Can we see that break to the upside? And we're going to take another look at XRP. Are we going to see a pullback here? I want to cover everything here with you guys now. If you tuned into the live stream earlier where we covered XRP and Bitcoin both, I do want to talk about kind of what we were looking at on Bitcoin for a potential pullback. Not that we're really pulling back right now, but we're kind of just hitting our head on this resistance. And I want to talk about the importance of getting above this resistance level, guys, and kind of what I'm expecting next here on Bitcoin. We have some interesting signals on Market Cypher B. We have some mixed signals. So I want to try to clarify it and light the way for the Candle Mafia. So shout out to everybody in here. Mark Dutch says low volume. A little louder. Okay. We're going to pop it up a notch. Is that a little better? Are we louder now? Can you hear me now? Maybe I should just start screaming more. All right, let's see. Your intro music was much louder. Okay, interesting. Let me know. We're going to take one more step. That sounds good to you. Okay. Shout out to Michael Williams. So, yeah. If you guys are having trouble hearing me, just let me know. I'll try to pop up the volume just a little bit. I could even maybe squeak it up a little bit here. I don't want it to sound like I'm blowing out the speakers, but I want to make sure you guys can hear me. The intro music is a lot louder than my voice, which is what I noticed, which is why I wanted to fix it. Thank you, Rob. Rob says good. But guys, we got a lot to look at here, but shout out to the Candle Mafia in the chat. Shout out to Rob, the Crypto Snob, Tyler, Durden, Chemistry Bro, Crypto Anon, Crypto Billy, Captain Kirk, I think I said Chemistry Bro. You guys know who the mods are. Show them some love in the chat. We got Hottie in the chat said, good. Okay, good. Sounds like the audio is good. John Vucci in the chat. What is going on, bro? Says, hope everyone is having a blessed day. I hope you're having a blessed day as well, brother. We got Jesse in the chat, the like police, guys. Don't forget to smash that like button. Every 100 likes we get gives you guys some extra chances to win some free crypto. 1,000 likes on tonight's live stream gets you guys a chance to win $150 in Solana on Friday night's live stream. And the more live streams that we get 1,000 likes on, we will stack up some Solana. So if we get 1,000 likes on tomorrow's live stream as well, we'll make it $300 in Solana. So smash that like button if you have not already. Let's see, we got Wick589 in the chat. What is going on, bro? Welcome in. We got All Set Valerie in the chat. Shout out to the female Candle Mafia. Approximately 2% of the Candle Mafia are females. Shout out to Jay Violet. What is going on? Shouting out Rob. We got Weenie in the chat. Said, please tell me Bitcoin is dumping. Shout out to Weenie. Well, we're going to break it down here because there are some signs of a potential pullback. But thank you guys for being here, and let's go ahead and jump on into the charts and break down Bitcoin and see if we can predict where this thing is going to go next, because those targets have been getting hit beautifully lately, Mafia. So hopefully we can keep calling this thing for you guys. So let's go ahead and jump on into the charts. Let's get into it. My XRP bag is killing it. Shout out to John Vucci. Let's get it, baby. She's pumping. New all-time highs for XRP. And like I said, guys, I'm going to cover Bitcoin somewhat quickly here as we are kind of just in the same place we were earlier today, which is Just continuing to tap our heads here on this key level of resistance. Now, if you guys watched the show last night, you will know, and if you didn't see the earlier stream that we did, you will know, right? We were coming up to these key levels of resistance yesterday, and we were looking at the opportunity, as this is our short zone, at least in the premium Discord. That's where we're looking for shorts. We did find a nice little short entry in the premium Discord. I showed this earlier today, but I will try to show it again here. We took that short, and this was something that we were looking at on the live stream last night, right? As we were coming into that key level of resistance, we did get some kind of bearish confirmations here, so I did take a stab at that short in the premium Discord, looking to come down to our key level of support that we were looking at on last night's live stream, where we had the golden pocket and that 786 Fibonacci retracement lining up perfectly with our point of control. This is where we were hoping for a bounce. This was the support level we were looking at on the live stream, but in the premium, we were looking like, hey, maybe we could catch that short to the downside, and obviously that did wind up playing out, tapping that final take profit almost to the dollar here. But I will bring up those levels really quickly, because those were the levels we were looking at yesterday, looking for price to come down to that point of control / value area high confluence / come on, 786, right? So that's what we were looking for, that rejection down here to come retap that point of control. Now, the nice thing here, guys, is that we did not lose the point of control, and this is going to remain the key level of support that we must hold above, because once we start breaking below that, we do somewhat enter the danger zone. There's some other opportunities to bounce in here, and I'll cover those local levels in a minute, but we really do not want to break below that POC, which is now sitting at 97,400 or 97,500 bucks. We'll call it a nice even number, but nice to see that cool off. Caught that little scalp short in the premium to the downside, and we got that bounce directly where we were hoping for it on that full 786 retracement. Nice, bullish, powerful move to the upside. But now the question is here, guys, are we going to continue to the upside? Are we going to be able to break out of this major range that we've been in here for quite some time, guys? This is starting to remind me, we've been in here for 66 days. This is starting to remind me of the dreaded 7-month consolidation that we had down here. Hopefully we don't have to see that happen again, but are we going to be able to wiggle our way out of here? I'm going to kind of talk about the path. It's not as simple as saying, hey, guys, we're ready to rip out of here. There's a little bit more of a complicated answer. And to explain that a bit, let's go ahead and jump into that. Shout out to Pennywise in the chat, everybody's favorite clown. And we think he's friendly. We think he's friendly, guys. We're not 100% sure. He doesn't come out of the sewers that often. But shout out to Pennywise. Welcome in, bro. He doesn't always come out of the sewers, guys, but he always shows up to the Frankie Candles live stream. And we love you for that, Pennywise. We love you for that. Let's see here. All right, let's continue on here. Okay, so is Solana going to crash? Yeah, we'll take a look at Solana in a minute. Once we wrap up Bitcoin, we'll take a look at XRP, take a look at Solana, Ethereum, and then we'll jump into the other altcoins. You guys can request some altcoins, and we'll dive into those. I'll give you some sauce on where we think those are going next as well. But we got that nice correction into that 786, got the bounce to the upside, and now we are still just struggling up here at that key level of resistance, guys. Now, as you know, this is a very key level, right? This is, if we pull up this Fibonacci retracement, pulled from our high all the way to the low. This is that 786 retracement. If I change the settings here, it's a golden pocket, 786 retracement. And we got through that golden pocket, and then we had our final target, not final target, but our next target here on Bitcoin between $99,900 and about $100,800. We came up into that zone, got the correction to the POC, and now we're just back inside this range. We do not want to reject this 786, guys. If we reject this 786, it gives us a potential probability of getting that continuation of the downtrend. Now, the problem with this is if we did get the lower high here, and I'm going to show you Market Cipher B, and I'm going to show you some of the bearish signals. Now, earlier today on the live stream, we were talking about how some of those signals on Market Cipher B are a little bit mixed. I'm going to try to decode it and clarify it for you guys. But if we were to put in a lower high here, guys, it could potentially open up the door to get a bigger move to the downside. And like I said, this point of control is going to be, let me just hide this golden pocket to clean up the chart a bit. I will just say, this point of control is, in the grand scheme of things, if you want to look at a nice simple chart, I'll even take this off to make it even simpler. We are just simply rotating our volume profile here, right? We came to the low, back to the high, deviate above the high, back to the low, back to the high, back to the POC, deviate above, back into the range. Almost tapped the low, back to the high, deviation, back to the low. Now we're just back at the high here. So we have to look at this from the context of a volume profile. And technically, in the volume profiles, this is typically at these value area highs and deviations above could be where we're looking for short positions. But more specifically, if we reject this 786, guys, the POC is that key level because we know once we break below that POC, the doorway to the value area low is technically open. Now, we do have key support here right before we get down to that value area low, and it would technically give us a potential continuation to the upside here, but it would be a very boring, and a lot of people would be very scared if we came back down here. I'm going to talk about those key levels that we have below, but that POC at 97,417 is going to 100% be that key level. If we start losing this and we cannot get back above, that is where I would expect the bigger drop to the downside to begin. And taking a look at Market Cipher B here, guys, we do have our 16-hour looking to print a red dot here, right? This is a pretty high time frame, 16-hour red dot, 12-hour looking to print the red dot as well. And then as we dump down to the 1/16th Market Cipher B strategy time frames, right? 12 and 16 hour correlates to the 1 hour and 45 minute. When we have the red dots on the 12 and the 16 hour, we go down to the 45 minute and 1 hour time frames. And if that money crosses over into the red while those red dots start to print, guys, that could indicate that we are indeed going to see a little bit more of a trend to the downside, in which case that POC becomes key support. But those 12 and 16 hour red dots could be the start of a bigger correction. And again, I'm not just completely bearish here, but I do just want you guys to be prepared because statistically, when we see these setups pop up, we do get moves to the downside. I know a lot of people don't want to hear that, but if you look back here to this 45-minute money flow crossover, and then we come up to the 12-hour, I do believe this was most likely, right on that red dot here, right? So when you see that happen, that 45-minute money flow crossover is indeed the level that, if lost, money flow comes into the red. This makes you anticipate a continuation of that downtrend, and that is what we do not want to see, but we are potentially setting up for that right now. Now, again, does this mean that everything's bearish? We're going down to 80K? Not necessarily, because we do have some backup support that I did not talk about earlier in today's live stream. So I want to cover them right now. So we do have the full Golden Pocket 786 retracement, right, from the low to the high here. So if we did come on down, right, and it's actually kind of very similar to this situation, right? We got to the high, we deviated above, we got back into the range, went to the POC, and then that money flow crossover happened. We lost the POC and went back down to our value area low, where we caught that beautiful, beautiful long position from the low all the way up to the high, tapping that take profit almost to the dollar. But let's hide this real quick. If we do lose that POC and get a move down here, guys, I do just want you to have these on your chart. You actually do have some kind of, let me pull this up. We do have confluence down here. So I will say this, right? If we do lose the POC and we come down, a big level of support that I will be watching is going to be this golden pocket. Now, hopefully we don't have to see 93K again. We're going to talk about the bullish case here as well, but I cannot ignore, right? I'm just here to bring up the levels and the signals on the chart here. I'm not saying I want them to play out, but again, like hopefully just showing you guys how this plays out typically. Kind of gives you, this is why we're looking at it, right? Like up here, we didn't want to see the lower prices either, but we looked at the signals and they wound up playing out, right? So I'm only here to give you guys valid information, not just my random opinion because I feel bullish. If the charts look like they're going to pull down, I got to bring it up to you guys. We keep it 100% honest here on this channel. But so I just want you guys to see that clear trend out on your money flow, 16 to 12 hour red dots printing. And, we lose that POC. I will be looking to come down here. Now, there are some local levels in between. I'll talk about them in a second. But if we do see that 45-minute money flow do something disgusting like it did back here, the nice thing is we do have this golden pocket retracement starting at about $93,555. So let's just assume in the bearish case, we lose this level, we get that drop to the downside. If we lose that golden pocket, that would be the first level of support here, $93,555. If you are unable to put in a higher low here on that golden pocket and we lose that golden pocket, the key target to the downside is going to be this 786, which is also confluent with the daily naked point of control at about $91,500. And these are all going to be levels that I am interested in potentially at least looking for some long positions if we make it back down there. But that's enough of the bear talk, guys. That's enough of the bear talk. Just because we're at a value area high does not guarantee that we're definitely going to get a bigger move to the downside. But I just want you guys to be aware of these major levels. These are higher time frame levels. So 97,417 at the POC. Lose that, we could see that bigger drop to the downside. Now, the kind of if we're not going to see that 93,555, another key, this is actually pretty nice as well. So we look at this other local volume profile here, guys. You can see that golden pocket is confluent with our value area low. So I actually, this is obviously our major range, right? We've been looking at this range forever. It was why we took the long here and to look for it to play out to this value area high. But, there are multiple volume profiles on the chart. So actually, if I do look at this a little bit more locally, look at this local profile, this actually looks a little bit cleaner, right? POC still remains at the same level that it was on the bigger range. But again, like we're tapping, not only are we tapping the value area high in the macro profile, but also this local profile. And again, lose that POC. At that point, the next likely place for price to go is to begin that journey down to that value area low, which is where that golden pocket is. So this would be a key level of support. If we deviated below it, you do have that 786 sitting just down below at $91,500. So those are huge, huge, huge key levels of support that I will be looking at on the way down. I'm actually going to mark these out in blue so you guys can actually go ahead and get these on your chart, right? So we have the 786 daily naked point of control as well. So these are big, big macro levels of support. And again, I'm not necessarily saying we're guaranteed to get down there. We have to lose this POC decisively first. So again, I'm not saying Bitcoin to 93K. There is a bullish case here as well. But if that does happen, these are the key levels, in which case I will definitely be looking for shorts up here, which we have been in the premium Discord, lose that POC, come down to the golden pocket where we can then potentially look for longs once again. So that's the way I'm going to be viewing price action for the most part here. But Frankie, what if we could get a move to the upside? Can you just be bullish for 1 second? And yes, and I will say, guys, just because we look for moves down does not mean I'm fully bearish on Bitcoin. Typically, just keep in mind here, guys, when a lot of people are really, really bearish, we are typically looking for longs. And people call us crazy, but this is how we catch these big long positions from the lows all the way back up to the highs. This is just from a textbook perspective where I have to be looking for shorts based off my trading rules, not selling my spot Bitcoin bags. I'm talking about lower time frame, day trades or, short-term swing trades. So some of the more local levels that we have here, guys, because, if we lose that POC there, POC always acts as a magnet for price. And you guys can see this like perfectly exemplified, like kind of right here, right? You come up, you get sucked back down, you come up, suck back down, price sticks to it right here. Price gets the rejection, and then we kind of gravitate to it here before breaking out. And you can even see here, right? Like anytime you come near that POC, typically you do kind of stick around that high volume node. So if price comes down here, we might kind of bing bong around on that POC, which will get a little bit suspicious. But if we pull up our local profile, these would be kind of the micro levels of support. Once we lose that POC, the doorway is open to come visit that $96,150 value area low. And then at that point, right, if we come on down here, we get stuck in here and price tries to stick around that point of control, we might kind of just rotate this value area. But again, if we can't reclaim and get the breakout, that is more likely that we're going to lose this range and get that move to the downside. So it's the same thing whether you're looking at this volume profile or not. But I do just want to mention those local levels of support, right? Because again, price action sometimes does stick around that POC, right? So I don't want anyone getting like super scared if we just get down here. We could technically bounce from this level. But if we pull our fib, let's pull it from this low all the way up to the high. You can see we do have that 786 retracement down there as well. This is a golden pocket, right? So we bounce there. We lose that golden pocket. You can look for that 786. And really, I don't want to take away from the importance of the POC being lost. That would be kind of like warning sign number one. But once you come down to that 786, guys, really like lose that POC, doorway to the 786 value area low at 96.1 is open. And then once you start losing this, that's probably where we're going to get that bigger drop down to the macro value area low, sitting at 93.259. And then we have that 786 down below. But for the most part, guys, to be quite honest with you, it's just a simple volume profile perspective, right? So that's the bearish case. We're at resistance. If we get the bearish confirmations to take a short, we will look for it. Lose the POC, get down to that value area low, understanding those local levels that you have inside this little area of consolidation. Now, Frankie, can we break out? Can we just not go down to the value area low? And can we just rip up here and absolutely skyrocket? I'll tell you this. Maybe. So I'll kind of go over what I'm looking at here, right? Now, again, daily money flow tries to come back up here. Nothing really to take away from this daily. But I will say, fresh 3-day green dot is printing. If we're going to come up and take this high, this is probably what I would watch, right? Because just like we were looking at on XRP, and I will come over to XRP in a little bit more detail in a second, what we were looking for here on XRP was a very, very simple kind of prediction, right? If you want to call it that. We had this green dot printing. It looked like Market Cipher B might print that bearish divergence. And when we look at that, we say, hey, if that bear div winds up printing, when you get that green dot on the 3-day, we could look for that higher high on price, because to get that bearish divergence, you need to break that structure to the upside. And that's how we were able to predict not only the break of the highs here, but also the target here based off the Fibonacci extensions. This was a beautiful place to put that higher high in. And then we were talking yesterday about how this might be where you get a little cool off, right? Probably going to be scary, probably going to be confusing, but you get that bearish divergence. Maybe you get a little pullback, and then hopefully we can continue up to some of those higher targets, which I will talk about in just a minute. But it's the same thing here on Bitcoin, right? If we come on over to Bitcoin, 3-day green dot is now printing. So if I'm looking at this and it looks like it's going to print a bearish divergence, it might be an opportunity to at least come up to our next key levels of resistance, getting closer to about $104,000. And then if we do put in that higher high, right, we do have some Fibonacci extensions up above. Let me go ahead and pull those up for you guys real quick. Right, we do have those Fibonacci extensions sitting at about $113,000 now. So that could be a similar situation. The same way we looked at it on XRP is the same way I'm going to look at it on Bitcoin. So that's kind of your bullish case here. But again, shorter term, we are at resistance. It is possible to get another pullback before continuing up. This is a pretty bullish candle. I will say that. Nice long wick on the bottom. Probably wrecked a lot of long positions down here before continuing up. But I just don't want you guys to get it twisted. We are at resistance. So hopefully, and we talked about this earlier today, if you want to not either reject here for the lower high or deviate above the high a little bit before rejecting, right? We have to get above this golden pocket. The top of this golden pocket is going to be really that like crucial doorway to get a move up to our next price target sitting at about 104,303. So, recently we've been talking about a lot of doorways to higher prices, especially on XRP. We were looking at this level yesterday and on Tuesday. If we broke above that 786, that's where we were looking for the continuation up to our next target, which was sitting right here on that Fibonacci extension. We get the pullback, and then we pushed up into our next target at the all-time high. I mean, these targets have been coming in absolutely perfect. First, we looked here, then we moved the target up because we smashed this one, and now we're at that we were at that all-time high, put in the new all-time high, and now we're pulling back. But going back to Bitcoin, right? It's a very similar situation. However, the level here is going to be the golden pocket, sitting at $101,663. If we could come up, this is going to be resistance, but if we can get above that, I will be looking for a push up into about this zone, right? This is going to be a zone of resistance sitting between, I would call it 104,319 all the way up to 105,202, where we have a daily naked point of control. And like I said, guys, we do have a lot of resistance up here in this box. We have a daily naked point of control, 2 of them, and then we also have this weekly naked point of control as well. Right, so we're going to have to reassess the situation once we get up there. But we also know that we have a lot of liquidity sitting above these highs. So once you get above that golden pocket, this is, in my opinion, the doorway to higher prices. Because we come attack these highs. Let me see if I can pull this up real quick. Where are those liquidations? Bear with me. Where is it at? Come on, give it to me. It's got to be one of these boxes. Come on. Okay. Come on. There it is, right? So once we come up above that golden pocket, we take these highs. Those liquidations can fill pretty quickly, pushing us into that next target. 104.2, 104.3, up to 105.250. That's what we need. We have to break this level at 101.652. That is the doorway to higher prices. I'm going to label it doorway to higher prices. Typically, these doorways to higher prices are based off volume profile levels, but this one is specifically based off Fibonacci, right? So we get up here. This is going to be resistance. Once we flip it, that's where I think we could push up into this next zone. So that's what we need to see that bigger move to the upside. But the question is, are we going to rip out? Are we going to just rip out of here, or are we going to get that cool off first, right? We'll have to see what happens. But we're definitely at resistance here. Now, locally, I will say this, guys. We don't really have, like, the real bearish signal here is the 16 and 12-hour red dots with the 1 hour and 45-minute money flow crossovers into the red. Other than that, like, we don't really have any significant bearish divergences here, right? We have lower highs on our price action. We do not have higher highs. So for me personally, I did take a stab at a little scalp short earlier in the premium Discord. Took a little scalp, got down to our first level pretty quickly. I moved my stop loss to break even, and then as soon as I got off the live stream, I got stopped out at break even. Actually, should I share this? This is probably helpful for a lot of people if you're looking to learn how to trade. So I wound up getting stopped out at break even. I had to pay some fees, right? So I lost $73 on that trade. But I wanted to read this to you guys because I think it's extremely important. I posted this in the premium Discord. I said, it's all, so I basically said, stopped out at break even. And you can even see here, when I looked at that setup, wasn't really super confident in it, right? Because there wasn't a ton of confirmation. I said, I've taken an aggressive short here, tight stop. So low risk for me, just giving it a shot. With the mixed signals, I would give this an chance of playing out. But it's the high, but if it's the high, I don't want to miss out. It's similar to last night's scalp, which wound up playing out beautifully. But kind of knew this was a little bit lower probability, so I adjusted my risk accordingly, right? And then I dropped this in here after I got stopped out, obviously letting everyone know I got stopped out. We don't win every single trade, but this is going to be a little drop of sauce for you guys if you're learning how to trade. It's all about risk management. I took the low probability short, but I adjusted the risk accordingly for a small loss. Big winners and small losers, up $5,000 on the long and down $73 on the loser. Everyone wants the secret to making money trading, the 100% strategy, the winning buy and sell indicator, the signals, but I can tell you from my years of experience falling into those traps and coming out on the other side, there is no shortcut, there is no secret. The only secret is discipline and having good risk management. With the $73 loss with the long, that's together up about $5,000, but I already have $2,800 fully locked in. So even if you were taking just the locked in profit into account, you could see, right? Small losers, big winners. That is the secret to trading, guys. I know it's not sexy to say, but this is literally how you become profitable. Everybody wants those sexy things. They want that 100% strategy. They want the signals. Just tell me where to buy. Tell me where to sell. Is it going up or is it going down? But this is not our goal as traders, guys. It doesn't have to be, because no one's right 100% of the time. And it's really the risk management and the discipline that makes you profitable. And it's the hardest thing to do. The TA is easy compared to the emotional management, the risk management, and just understanding that you have to have smaller wins or smaller losses and big wins, not smaller wins. But there you go, little drop of sauce there for you guys. But that's what we're looking at on Bitcoin, guys. That's the road to higher prices. And I will say, with all these higher time frame red dots, it does look, from the charts, it looks a little more probable that, whether we come up a little bit more, we may cool off before coming up to that $104,000 target, assuming we hold that POC, of course. But, if I was seeing a fresh daily green dot, if we hadn't just gotten a pretty big move to the upside, I might be more willing to say, like, hey, we're about to get a big move up. But, you do have your 4-hour green dot, so, we could push into this level, but I would be very, very, very careful of potential pullbacks before finally coming up to these targets. We got to get above this golden pocket. 101,652. Mark it off on your charts. That is the level to get above in order to potentially push up into these levels, especially if you can push into these liquidations. So there you go. That's what we're looking at on Bitcoin. We'll keep an eye on this as we move forward in the stream. See if we can pop out above that value area high and attack that golden pocket. But let's go ahead and jump into some XRP analysis, guys. Shout out to Max Sales says you're going to lose for sure. 100%. If you want to learn how to trade, especially if you tune into these live streams and you want to load up an account and start trading, you have to understand, losing is part of the game, right? Like, I'm never going to come up here and tell you guys I win every trade. That's a simple lie, and that's something I'm not willing to do on this channel. So, we lose trades. We don't win every single one. But obviously, I like to drop this stuff in there when we do lose trades, because I like to show people, like, we lose, but the reason why losing is not bad is because our losses look like this and our wins look like that, right? So, that's really important. And this was pretty aggressive, because this is basically a break-even stop loss for me, right? My stop loss is at break-even, but you do have to pay those fees, so I did lose a little bit. Very rarely do get stopped out for $0 lost. Unless your stop loss is in profit, obviously. But anyway, let's continue on here. I'm going to check in on chat. We're going to check out XRP, and then we're going to jump into the other altcoins, guys, here. Shout out to Anton said, is the premium Discord worth it? Shout out to Anton. Well, if anybody's in the kitchen in the chat, maybe you can give us a little bit of a review in the chat. But yeah, listen, the CandleMafia loves the premium Discord. If you want to try it for free, you can get into the dining room. I'm not going to go fully into this, but if you come into our free Discord and come into the dining room, click unlock access. If you sign up with any of our affiliate links for our exchanges, you will get free access to this, where I drop one free premium TA post per week in the dining room for 100% free. This doesn't end. It's unlimited. We won't kick you out. But we do oftentimes put in trade setups. They're a little bit different every single time, but you'll get an idea of what we do here. It is not a signals group. I do not say, hey, I'm buying here, you guys should buy too, and then sell here. I put predetermined trade setups into the chat, right? Not the chat, but in the channel, right? So for this one, this was a little bit aggressive because I was entering and telling the Mafia as I was entering, but it's like, hey guys, I've taken aggressive short here. It's never a signal, right? But I'm saying, hey, this is what I'm looking for. This is why I'm taking this short position. If we continue down, these are the levels I'm looking to go to. And more often than not, they do play out. Again, not every trade wins, but I don't tell you exactly where to buy and sell. I have those setups predetermined where we are sitting and waiting for key levels of support to get hit, right? Like especially for this one, this last long position that we took, right? We sit there, we have our key levels, and I say, hey, if we come into this level and we see the specific confirmations, which I talk about in the post, I tell people exactly what I'm looking for, and you basically just get to see my personal setups and trade alongside me. But I will never tell you where to buy and sell. I'm not a financial advisor, and if trading was as easy as someone saying, hey, buy now, hey, sell now, you could easily hook up a bot to that and just become a billionaire very, very quickly. And if that were the case, everybody would be doing that. I teach you how to actually become a profitable trader. We go live on Mondays and Fridays for like 2 hours. I dish a bunch of educational sauce. I hold nothing back in here. We give all the sauce. We give the full recipe in here. And people do seem to like it. But I do, if you're looking for a signals group, this is not a signals group. So just be aware of that. All right, let's go ahead and continue on here, guys. Bada boom, bada bing. Awesome, thanks. Shout out to Anton. No problem, bro. Hopefully that helps you out. Gen Z says, if you get the basic stuff he talks about here, you're 50% prepared. You just need the other 50% to polish yourself. Absolutely. Shout out to Gen Z. Gen Z's been crushing it in the premium. Let's see. Golden Child said premium Discord is well worth it. Just be patient and take the setups. When they come. I'm patient and take the premium trades. I usually do well. Shout out to Golden Child. Thank you for that. And really to be at the end of the day here, guys, if I had 100% hit rate somehow, right, which is not the case, but if I somehow magically had 100% hit rate, 90% of people will still lose money, right, because they don't have the discipline, which is not hate, right? This is just general. Right? I went through this as well. If I said, hey, there's a 100% chance that we rip from here, right? Most people aren't going to have the discipline to not pay themselves up here. They're going to think, well, hey, it's going to go higher. It's going to go higher. And then if it comes down, they get stopped out at a loss. So even if you have winning trades, like I said, back to the risk management, it's not about really the 100% chance of a trade playing out. It's really about how you manage those trades. So there you go. But anyway, let's continue on. Shout out to Al Jr. said, this is a signals group, a signal to learn FNTA or get wrecked. Absolutely. It's, again, you have to think to yourself, right? Is it too good to be true? If someone says, hey, come into my group, I'll tell you when to buy and sell, and you just make $1 bazillion, like, is that realistic, right? If it's too good to be true, it probably is. But we like to mold our Mafia members into profitable traders, and I'm very active in there, and if you're really looking to learn, it's extremely educational, and then the setups are really just like the cherry on top. But anyway, let's continue on. Do you think it's hard to pronounce my name? Yes, Kevin, I do. Shout out to Kevin. I do think it is very hard. All right, let's see. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into XRP, guys. We'll touch on XRP, and then we'll take a look at Ethereum, Solana. And if you guys want to say your favorite altcoins, go ahead and drop them in the chat right now. Rob the Crypto Stomper, count up the votes, and let us know what altcoins we're looking for. Let's do like 3 requests, Rob, and then I'll freestyle some random ones as well. Shout out to WixWife589. Said, what up, party people? Welcome in, WixWife and Wick589. Welcome in, guys. Thank you for being here. Mark Dutch in the chat. What is going on? All right, let's take a look here. So, XRP, right? We took a look at XRP earlier today. Came into our next target here, starting at the all-time high with our second next target at 353. At 353, sitting right here. If we get above that all-time high, once we hold above it, right, obviously the all-time high is always going to give you some kind of resistance. Hopefully this isn't the top forever, guys. Everybody's been waiting years, waiting absolute years to hit that all-time high. And obviously you are expecting, this is obviously a resistance zone. But once we wind up getting back up there and we flip this level, guys, the next target is going to be sitting at about $3.52. And then, that's kind of like a given. We've kind of like already kind of wicked halfway through this zone. But once we get above that, guys, we are going to be looking for a potential, for XRP to potentially get a massive, or not massive, but an aggressive move to the upside, targeting about $4.16 and $4.53. These are the next extension targets to the upside. Does it guarantee we get there? Not necessarily, but, we looked at these targets and they got a hit. So this is kind of that last line of defense. I've been looking at 352 as somewhat of a local target, right? I'm not looking at this as like a huge macro target. Really, the all-time high and this first resistance zone here were the major targets. So could we get a little turbulence there? Yes. But once we get above it, guys, there's not much above us until we come into that $4.18 to $4.53 zone. And then, for fun, if we wind up getting above that, our first major bull market target at about 552, not 589, 552, is sitting there at that next extension target. So this is kind of what I'm looking at for XRP. Now, again, is this likely to happen in a straight line? Probably not, right? This is, a lot of people like to buy the tops, right? You got to be careful. You are going to get those pullbacks. And as we've seen on that 3-day, when we were looking for this potential breakout, based off of the 3-day green dot and the potential possibility of seeing that bearish divergence print, we knew that higher high was going to be likely. Where was that higher high likely to come in at? Right in that Fibonacci extension zone. So could see a little turbulence here before continuing to the upside. So be careful about that. But it wasn't just this market cipher B, guys. It was also the fact that we had bullish consolidation here very clearly. We were holding key levels of support, which if I pull those up, you guys will know what those were, right? We came up, flipped that, tapped that POC one more time, held the higher low. Like, a lot of people were scared here, right? Like, I was getting text messages like, man, my XRP's down like crazy. And I'm like, when you buy XRP after a 500% rip, you have to expect pullbacks, right? A lot of people funnel in here, and a lot of like my personal friends and family that are getting into crypto, right? They only start paying attention after the 500% rip, so they buy it, and they think they're just only going to see this, and then they get that pullback, and they get scared, and they sell their bags, and it's the most painful thing to see ever. It's like, hey, I sold my bag, man. It was just, I was down 30%. I was losing all my money. And I'm like, no, why did you call me, dude? This was obviously bullish consolidation. A pullback of what we were seeing here at about 33% after a 500% rip to the upside is 100% healthy, which is what we were talking about. So this is really just like a bull pennant, right? It's basically just bullish consolidation. And when that 3-day green dot was about to print, that's where we were looking for that push to the upside. So we are right on track here for XRP. And I'm not going to lie, if there is a coin that we've been looking at that we were able to call moves on the best, I think XRP might be it. If you remember back in the day when we were looking to come through the volume profiles, I don't know, yeah, these volume profiles, that 60-cent level was our doorway to higher prices, and we hit our head here forever. But once we finally broke out into this range, guys, right up to that value area high, and then once we got above here, right up to that next value area high. Doorway to higher prices, doorway to higher prices. And now this one, right into our Fibonacci target using different techniques, but we were still able to see that move to the upside incoming. So we'll see what happens here. Now, 3-day green dot is now confirmed, and then we looked at this earlier today as well. Your 5-day green dot is confirmed. Your 6-day green dot is printing, and this weekly, guys, green dot with your money flow crossing over into the green at the same time. Now, this is a very, very early money flow crossover, but sometimes when you get these green dots with money flow crossovers at the same time, it can give you a very big move to the upside. So all this higher time frame money flow coming up, even that 6-day, if we come on back here, the last significant 6-day green money flow crossover that we had was all the way back here in 2020. And we wound up getting a 800% pump to the upside, right? And then all the way back here we are. Are we about to see something big like that once again? And you can see we even had like little fake outs here. But what happened on this little fake out? Still wound up being a 112% pump to the upside. Here, didn't really get that much of a move. This was a little bit of a fake out. But, at this point, green dot, come on, baby, come on. So we'll see what happens. We are a little bit overbought here, though. I will say that. So yeah, we'll see what happens here. I wouldn't be surprised if we get that little cool off at a resistance level as she is pushing down. But this is not scary, guys, right? People will be like, oh my God, it's dumping, I'm scared. But we just ripped, we just got a huge rip. So you have to be prepared for those pullbacks, right? You don't want to buy the top. Do not buy the top, guys. This is not the camp you want to be in. But yeah, getting that resistance at the all-time high would be expected. But based off money flow, 10-hour money flow crossing over into the green or is in the green. Daily money flow is trying to work its way back up. I will say this, the 16-hour red dot about to print. So yeah, I would not be surprised if we see a pullback here. But again, as long as that money flow stays in the green, me personally, I would be anticipating higher lows and continuations to the upside. Let me get this. Whoops. Let me hide this 786 just to clean the chart up. We already smashed through that. That was our doorway to the extension levels, which is where we're sitting right now. So if we go ahead and pull our full fib here from the low to the high, this would be retest of the prior range. Wouldn't really be out of the question, right? That would kind of just eat up all the gains that we had. But this is going to be key support. You might want to retest that range high before continuing up. But if it's not going to be that aggressive of a pullback, right, we can look at our local on the impulse to the high. Kind of gives you the same zone, right? It's kind of just to come retest that previous, right? You have the value area high 786. That would be a huge level to hold, right? Because not only is this the 786 retracement, but it's also the value area high of the range. And we know if you lose that value area high of the range, that opens up the move down to the value area low. So we don't want to do that. So if we do pull back, could be, Maybe something like that is not out of the question in a pretty like aggressive case. Lower time frame, if we're just going to hold like super aggressive uptrend, you might just kind of continue to grind to the upside. But if we start breaking structure here, that's where I would probably expect these more significant Fibonacci retracements to come in, because these are pulled from higher time frames. So that's what I'd be looking at. This is kind of the context that I'd be looking at XRP in. Can we see that $4 XRP? We said I think we said yesterday, we're going to see that $3.31 XRP this week. And here we are, sitting right at that level, right? We're just rejecting that level pretty hard. But I know this is, oh my God, we're pulling back. But you just have to understand, right? You got to have a little bit of, you got to have the stomach for this stuff, right? Like we just got a massive move up. So just be careful out there. Don't be buying tops. So there you go. That's what I'm going to be looking at on XRP, guys, for the most part. Congratulations to the XRP army, guys. This is Mark Dutch said, cry, baby, cry. Are you talking about XRP holders because of the dump? Shout out to Mark Dutch. Let's see. Pin my next comment. Shout out to Rob the Crypto Snob. Thank you for that, brother. I appreciate you pinned. I think that's the fastest I have ever pinned the alt list ever in life. All right, so let's see what we got. We got Algo, HBAR, AVAX. Real quick, guys, I do just want to check in on the big boys here. Ethereum getting the push into that golden pocket, getting the retracement. Nothing really too out of the ordinary here. We knew this was a level of resistance. That golden pocket 786 POC with the spider line coming through was a key level of resistance. So, we're just pulling back here. It's nothing really horrifying. Take a look at the daily. Daily green dot confirmed. I'll say one thing, guys, even on Bitcoin. We do not want this daily money flow to continue making lower highs. If that happens, you're probably going to tune into the live stream tomorrow, or it probably won't happen by tomorrow, but maybe next week or over the weekend, we'll have an emergency update if that happens. If we see that money flow continue out here and cross over into the red, that's where maybe our much more bearish case plays out. But we have to be careful because in a bull market, sometimes that money flow wiggles towards the downside and just comes back up into a bigger green wave for a massive move up. So we got to play level by level right now. But on Ethereum, key level of support is still going to be sitting down here at about $3,000, where you have your value area low. Let me get rid of some of these levels because this daily and weekly are tapped. So we'll get rid of that. This is the level that we look to come down and get the bounce from. We'll get rid of, I'm going to keep this fib, but I'm going to get rid of the golden pocket because it's been tapped. So right now, for the most part, we'll get rid of that SFP level as well. Mark this as value area low. So yeah, you have your value area low down here. This is your key level of resistance. If you were to get back down here, you want to hold 28.88. This is the level that we've been looking at for a while. Lose that level. That's where we see between $2,700 and $2,600 for Ethereum. But as long as we remain in this range, guys, we got the bounce from the low, worked our way up towards that POC. Once we flip that purple box, we can look to come up to the value area high. Just looking at this from a simple volume profile perspective. Now, locally, let's see what we got going on here. Let me pull some. Let me just pull some daily levels here real quick. You do have this daily level. Whoops. Come on. There we go. See that daily horizontal down there, somewhat confluent with your value area low. And your 786 comes right in on that daily as well. So this is kind of similar to Bitcoin, where you have those Fibonacci levels down below with some daily levels on top of that, right? So this would be a, I'd probably look at this as more of a zone, right? 786 daily value area low, very, very key level of resistance. And let me go ahead and pull up that golden pocket as well. Boom. So this golden pocket would be something to watch as well. This comes in at about 31.32. But if we're going to continue this trend, you kind of want to start bouncing off these levels to come back through the volume profile. So I wouldn't be worried about Ethereum till we break down below this value area low into this high volume node, because this is the danger zone. That's the danger zone, guys. That is the, oh my God, mommy, help me, we're going to zero. But zero is really just $2,600 to $2,700. But again, as long as we're in this range, guys, we're just, with no reason to look down to these lower targets until we start playing around with these lower levels. Then we can look down. Until then, we'll simply look at this. I will just kind of clean this up a little bit, right? We came up to our first level of resistance. Hopefully, we can continue that journey into the POC 786. Once you flip that, look to go to the high. So yeah, short term though. Come on, Market Cipher. 4-hour red dot is confirmed. Let's check that 8-hour. Yeah, 8-hour red dot printing. Money flow in the green. Money flow indicates a longer term trend, guys. Don't forget that, right? Again, trend. If this money flow stays in the green, we use this as a filter to figure out if we should be looking for higher lows and continuations up, or if we should be looking for lower highs and continuations down. In this case, at least on the 8-hour, if we cool off here, as long as this money flow stays in the green, right? Maybe we cool off a little more, but you would be looking for higher lows and continuations to the upside. Now, with that 8-hour green dot, we can come on down to the 30-minute, and there is that 30-minute money flow crossover. So if we are going to pull back more here, potentially to these lower targets, that 30-minute money flow crossover might be signaling that the trend locally will continue down. But again, on the higher time frames, that continuation down would be to put in some kind of a lower high and then continue higher low and then continue to the upside. I always get tongue-tied with that. But there you go. That's what we're looking at on Ethereum. Money flow doesn't look too bad on the 8-hour. Yeah, 12-hour. Yeah, the 12 and the 16-hour are the bearish cases here for Bitcoin and ETH. So we'll see what happens. But those are the key zones, right? Again, no reason to be like panicking to look down here until we come down to these levels and start losing them. All right, let's continue on here. Let's see. Shout out to Dan, says alt to enter now, if not XRP. Are you asking like what alt you should buy if you don't buy XRP? Well, I would argue that it's probably, again, I don't want to act like, this can't just continue up. But I would argue, right, just from like a simple kind of like basic standpoint, this is a horrible time to buy XRP, right? Number one, we just wound up ripping 48%, which it sounds like you kind of know that because you're saying you're not going to buy XRP. But yeah, like, this is where all the new people buy. They're like, oh my God, it's going up. It's going to keep going, right? Look what happened last time. And this could happen again, but this is not where I enter, right? I'm more likely to enter on scary drops to the downside, right? Or even like local drops. But we'll take a look at some other altcoins. I mean, listen, as far as like altcoins to buy, we'll be taking a look at some bullish charts right now. But, to be honest with you, if we go into an alt season, guys, if we do see a typical alt season happen like we do usually see in these Bitcoin cycles, I'll be honest with you, like just you can throw a dart at a board and your coin's going to go up. Not financial advice. Obviously, not 100% of the coins are going to go up. But, chances of, when alt season happens and altcoins are, waking up every day and like all your altcoins are up multiple X's, it's everything kind of goes up, right? Like rising tide lifts all ships. So, there's a million coins that you could buy into. You just got to do some research. There's no like one best coin. For me, I hold a ton of coins, right? So I could tell you what I hold, but I'd just be like listing off a bazillion different coins. But yeah, that's kind of a hard question to answer. But yeah, we'll see what happens here. But let's see. Bitcoin's dead. Shout out to the Dusty Hunt. Did it die? Is it dead? It's going to 0, guys. 99.7. It's going to 0. Shout out to the Dusty Hunt. Welcome in, bro. Welcome in. Let's see. Shout out to V-Slim said, what? I just sold all my Bitcoin and bought XRP. Now wasn't the time? Shout out to V-Slim. I mean, listen, it's really hard to say. Like, the reason I say that is because most people, right? I think you're joking, V-Slim, but if I were to buy up here, I would be aware that you could get a heavy pullback, right? So if I were like, oh my God, I have to buy up here. And listen, if you don't buy the dumps, you kind of put yourself in a situation where you have a very stressful bull run, right? Because if you don't get in at the lows, you basically have no choice but to buy on the rips. Now, the problem with that is buying on the rips is really bad because you wind up getting the dips. But if you don't buy the rips, like sometimes they just keep going, right? So you're in a really sticky situation. It's like if I buy it now, it might dip. But if I don't buy it now, it might keep going up. But for me personally, right, like when I was buying all my altcoins or even Bitcoin, just an easier chart to look at, I'm buying, when I feel like the world is falling apart, right? Because I'm thinking like, hey, we just had a massive, and that's not even taking into account that you have the 4-year cycle, average of, 75 to 80% down for Bitcoin or whatever it is. But, when you're 75 to 77% down here and you're getting exchanges going insolvent, you're having all this bearish news, regulation stuff, the world is falling apart and you've already gotten a 77% dump to the downside. This is a much better scenario, right? Because even if you bought here and you continue down, like, you're somewhat near, you're already down massive percentages, right? So your risk buying down here, the lower you buy, the risk goes away, right? Like it's less and less. So if you buy up here, it's very difficult, right? So for me, like this dump was nothing for me because I bought down here. This dump, this kind of sideways consolidation was nothing for me because I was buying down here. But when you wait to buy and you buy at this top, this 7 months is insane. This is so painful because not only are you going sideways, but you're also trending down. But again, if you don't buy here, it could take off without you. So you just put yourself in that really bad situation. The only way to avoid that is to buy when things are scary, not when things are exciting. And that's why you want to pay more attention to crypto in the bear market. If you're here and you came after the if you came here before we broke 30K, or if you came here after we broke 30K, take this as a lesson going into the next cycle. Pay attention to the bear market, right? You should be doubling down on your research, doubling down on your just focus on crypto in the bear market. That way you can kind of relax on these little dips to the upside because you're already up, whatever it is, 233%, 236%. But yeah. So yeah, it's like, could you buy XRP and it keeps going? Sure. For me, if I had to buy XRP here, right, which again, I just wouldn't generally, but if I did, I would know that I can endure, a pretty big pullback, and I would be prepared to handle that. But a lot of people see this and they're like, oh my God, I'm getting out, it's going down, right? But they don't know. They don't know how to read the charts. They might just be new, and there's nothing wrong with that. But most new people can't tell them to buy the top because they see this. They're going to sell at a loss. But anyway, let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Shout out to Eric, said I doubled down on debt. Hey, if you were doubling down on debt, down at the bear market, you may never have debt again, man. you might never have debt again, bro. All right, let's see. Okay, so let's jump into our next altcoin. We took a look at Ethereum. We took a look at XRP. Solana, there's really not much to update here for Solana. We have our resistance level. We looked at this yesterday, right? We came down. We tapped our long zone here at the golden pocket value area high. Got our bounce. This is the key level of resistance. As you guys know, we marked this out yesterday. Golden pocket, 786 retracement. Once you get above the golden pocket, you look to go to the 786. We got to get above this, right? We don't want to reject here. If we reject here, it's a chance of a lower high, which would be the continuation of this downtrend, which would not be good because it would call for a break of structure of the lows. We don't want to see that, right? So very important that we get above this very key level, very specific level, sitting at $211.50. If we can get above this, right, maybe we bing bong around, get above it. That's where we're looking for the move into the value area low at 225. At that point, probably going to be some kind of local resistance, but once you get into that volume profile, that's where we could look for the full fill of that range up to about 245. So yeah, I'm not going to look at the upper targets just yet because we're still kind of far away. But those local levels all remain exactly the same. This is how I would be viewing Solana 100%. Taking a look at the 12-hour. Again, VWAP starting to come down. 10-hour money flow in the green, but the VWAP starting to come down. Remember, the VWAP is what I look for to anticipate the red and green dots, and the red and green dots indicate the noise in the market. You might be saying, well, Frankie, if you're looking for red dots, why are you expecting a continuation up? And it just simply has to do with the noise in the market. The red dot would indicate a pullback before continuing up, right? As long as the money flow is in the green. The money flow is your filter to decide whether you're looking for higher lows and continuations up or lower highs and continuations down, right? You see the money flow cross over here. You look for lower high, well, kind of a weird lower high, lower low, right? Lower high, lower low. Lower high, lower low. But we have our money flow coming up here. So other than that, key levels remain the same. 211.50 is the level to get above in order to see these higher prices. And these are the levels I'd be looking at. All right, let's see. Shout out to Looney Tuner. Shout out to you, bro. He said, I don't know why, but there is a feeling that there still has to come a big shakeout. What do you think, Frankie Candle? Shout out to Looney Tuner. I would say that it is. I'll tell you this. If we do get a shakeout, the key levels that I will personally be looking at. Get this fib out of here. If we are going to be looking at a bigger shakeout. Listen, if we get a move down to the bottom of this range, I'll kind of tell you like the roadmap I would be looking to take, right? If we come back down to the POC, lose the POC, come down to these levels. Once we start losing, let me pull them up real quick. And then I want to get into something very special, guys, very special. But come down to this daily at 89,909. That's where we bounced last time. Once we come down to this 87.3 level, this is the oh my God, please bounce level. Because if we lose this, we are very likely to get a massive, massive drop down to about $81,000 to $82,000. Maybe that's the shakeout, right? In my opinion, and now here's the thing. This would very likely scare a lot of people out of the market. We had a lot of retail come in here at the top, and if we get that bigger drop, here's the thing. The reason I would not be freaking out is, number one, it's only a 26% pullback. We see this happen in bull markets all the time. If, on top of that, we also have, let me restart this here. We have our golden pocket sitting down here as well, right? So this would be a golden pocket retracement before a potential higher low. So if we see some kind of crazy shakeout, it could look something like that, right? Maybe that's not even enough. If it's not, we might come down to that second blue zone, which gets you down into the 70s. But here, I'm starting to get a little bit concerned, right? I'm not saying bear market, but I'm just saying I'm starting to get a little bit concerned. But that is kind of what I would look at. Now, trying to predict the black swan is very, very difficult. They're called black swans for a reason. But, again, for me, it's the loss of this key level at 87.3 that would really cause that big drop to the downside, in which case it'd probably be accompanied by some kind of bearish sentiment, some kind of bearish story, some kind of black swan. Maybe the Fed starts aggressively raising rates again, but now we don't think that might not happen. These things have a million different ways of playing out, so I don't try to predict that. I don't worry about it. I just look at the charts and I say, hey, we start losing this. I don't care what the story is. We're probably going to get that big drop down. And on top of that, we also have our visible range volume profile with a massive volume gap here, guys. So it's not just the key level for no reason. We break down below this. You could free fall through this low volume gap. We like to stick to the high volume nodes and fly through the low volume nodes, right? Quick move up, quick move down, falling through those gaps. And you can see the next high volume nodes or next kind of low, like lower, high-ish volume nodes come down in that $82,000 to $80,000 level. But guys, we have a visitor, guys. We have a visitor. I don't know who he is. I've never seen him before. But we do have something very, very important to announce, guys. And I gotta say, we have a very, very important announcement, guys. And this has been long awaited as as we have now acquired a new chair. Everybody welcome to the channel, Frankie Candle's new chair. With a removable pillow. You can order this now on frankiecandles.com. No, I'm just kidding. But there we go, guys. We got the new chair. It's here. Drop those golden emojis in the chat. Golden stole my first chair. Thank you, Tony. Wait, hang on. Tony, say what's up. Come say what's up. Tony, unless you don't want to show yourself on camera, but I don't think you care, right? I've done it. Okay, say what's up. Tony D,
What's
everybody.
up? What's up, Mafia?
The unknown face. You don't get to see his face very often, but that's Tony D, guys. Yeah, Tony D does everything, guys. Tony D, I'm just here on camera. Tony D literally does everything. But there we go. We got our... Tony's fired. Tony's fired, guys. I don't know what that yellow thing he was holding up was, but it's not mine. I'll tell you that. Don't point fingers at me. It wasn't mine. I think he brought that with him. But anyway, there we go. Shout out to the chairs in the chat. But wow, this feels good, and I'm not sinking down. Actually, hang on. Let me raise this up. Hang on. Oh, my God. Okay. I'm going to have to learn how to work this thing. How do I? Okay, there we go. All right. Let's bring it up a little bit. There we go. All right. Let's continue on here, guys. Jumping back into the charts. Ooh, this feels good. Guys, I might fall asleep in this chair. All right. It's Golden in here. Golden, please show yourself. This is not my original new chair. Golden stole my new chair. But yeah, there we go. Nice and 2025 new chair. Let's go. Crypto gods, may this chair please bring us massive profitability on our trades and bring good luck to the Candle Mafia. And that's it. Thank you. Amen. All right, let's continue on here, guys. Oh, this feels good, man. I feel nice and relaxed. I like it. Actually, let me move down the Frankie Candle studio just a little bit here. Bada boom. All right. Let's continue on here. Let's go. Shout out to Gene Lee. New chair, baby. New chair. Dump incoming. Oh, my God. I hope this is not the new signal, guys. I will never get a new chair again if that is the signal. All right. Let's jump back in here and take a look at Algorand. Let's take a look at Algorand. Thought I had some other altcoins written down. Take a sip of that Aztecian cactus moss water. Shout out to Tony D. Said, I planted an inhaler to frame Frank for asthma. Shout out to Tony D. You're a menace for that, bro. Absolute menace. I don't know what that... I think he took it with him. I think it's his inhaler, actually. Chair indicator bearish. Yeah, 1 minute in, chair breaks. Bitcoin hits 8K. Yikes. All right, let's see here. Let's continue on. Taking a look at Algorand. Oh, God. I love this. Frankie holds the chair up, not the other way around. That's right. My calves. That's why the calves are so juiced, guys. My calves are just holding this chair up. Sometimes you guys see me like shaking. It's because the calves are strong, but 2 hours of holding this chair up or holding that old chair up is difficult. Anyway, let's continue on. Bada boom, bada bing. Shout out to Brock says, I went for the long breakout, not looking like they're going to play out, starting to get stopped out. Rookie move, but I felt the FOMO. We'll wait for long confirmation. Shout out to Brock, bro. Good job. Listen, you get stopped out sometimes. That's I can't. You're doing the right thing, right? You're learning. You're not getting discouraged. You're recognizing what you might have done wrong, which is feel FOMO, and you'll work to fix it, right? For me personally, I had to feel those feelings, make those mistakes, and be like, I'm never going to do that again. And then I would do it again. And then I'd be like, never again. And I would do it again, right? It took me a long, long time. I'm a thick-headed Sicilian, guys. I had to make that mistake a million times. So congratulations, bro. You have the right mentality to eventually become profitable. I can promise you that. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at shout out to Dar A. Says, Frankie, do you have any insight on how to deal with the beginning of leverage trades? It's very anxiety-inducing, even more than buying on huge dips. Shout out to Dar. If you are feeling anxiety because of leverage, you're using leverage wrong, which is okay. That's why I'm here. Go to the channel, go to the playlist section, go to the beginner series, and I believe the title or the thumbnail is like the only leverage trading tutorial you need. And I show you everything you need to know if you're getting started leverage trading. Check that video out. I describe everything in full. Honestly, everybody should watch that video. If you want to leverage trade, chances are if you have not done a lot of research, you're probably leverage trading wrong. So check that video out. It'll explain everything in detail. But taking a look here at Algorand, guys, let's jump in. So, yes, or not yes, we didn't look at this yesterday, I don't believe. But very simply put, we got our impulse from the bottom of the range. We came to play around with this low volume gap. I'm going to pull in that visible range of volume profile. And let's go ahead and take a look here. So, whoops. So we have a few things here. We had our major volume sitting down here where we kind of bing-bonged around at the bottom, right? Or at the bottom of this like little 2024 bear market thing. We impulsed out. Where do we look to gravitate to? Well, we're going to look to potentially gravitate to that next area of balance. We go from balanced area to balanced area. On the way up there, we have this low volume gap, which is also a shelf. What is a shelf of volume, right? Well, a shelf of volume is very simply put where that volume starts to pick up, right? It's like a ledge, right? Like they call it shelves and ledges because literally that's what it is, right? Oh my God, gap, there's that ledge, right? So this is going to be resistance, but once you break into that volume gap, you can see price like whoop, right? So really right now, the job for Algorand is going to be to crack back into this low volume gap and hopefully fill this gap very quickly, leading you to two areas. The top of this volume gap at about 69 cents and more likely into the value area low of this previous area of value, right? So once you get up here, could get a little bing bong around, but hopefully you could just get into this range, flip it to support, go to the POC, go to the value area high. But this area right here, quick move down, oftentimes leads to quick move up. So once you get in here, could get that bigger push up. In which case, your next major area of resistance, let me go ahead and take that volume off real quick, pull our Fibonacci retracement. Come on, give me that wick. Okay, that was not the wick. Give me the dang wick. Where's wick 589? Give me that wick, baby. Give me that wick. There we go. From the high. Come on. From the high to the low. Yeah, this brings you all the way up to the value area high. So I was kind of wondering, I was kind of hoping this was going to bring you down to lower levels, but it doesn't. So, I mean, for me personally, I would be looking, once you fill that gap, look to come in here and then be patient. Hopefully you can hold it, push into this retracement level on that value area high. That's what I'd be looking at, plain and simple, from a higher time frame perspective. Lower time frame, excuse me. God, what did Tony come in here and give me asthma or something? Maybe that's why he left that yellow thing. Let's see. I don't see it going through unless Bitcoin holds. Yeah, absolutely, right? Like most of this stuff is if Bitcoin goes to 80K, please understand this, guys. If Bitcoin goes to 80K or 82K or even dumps down to 92K, like we were looking at earlier, you know, you could see pullbacks like this. If Bitcoin goes to 80K, like the alts are going to get wrecked, in my opinion, right? Especially if it's based off of Black Swan, the alts are going to get spanked. So, yeah, obviously, you know, Bitcoin's obviously the market leader here, so you have to keep that in mind all the time. But looking locally here, let me hide this low volume gap real quick. Come on. Hide it, baby. There we go. Boom, right? So let's go ahead and pull this. You do have somewhat of a volume profile here. Yeah, it's kind of wonked. Yeah, you kind of could look at it like that. I don't love this volume profile. You get rejected by the POC, rejected by the POC. But this next target here, value area high at 51 cents. Let me see. Yeah, it's kind of hard. So it's kind of a wonked range. Yeah, 51 cents is probably going to be that next major target, in my opinion. Not major target, but like the next local target. And this is kind of the context that I would be looking at for Algorand. So value area low, POC, value area high. So there we go, right? You come up, reject the POC, you're above the POC. Now, technically, the next stop locally would be the value area high of the range. 51.39. And once you get above that, that's where hopefully you can come into that low volume gap and push up to your value area low at 81 cents. That's what I'd be looking at. Money flow on the 12-hour is coming up, but that red dot is incoming. So hopefully you get that money flow to come into the green, but you could potentially see little cool-offs before that happens, right? Money flow indicates the trend. This would indicate higher lows and continuations to the upside, but that red dot may indicate a pullback. So just keep that in mind. Oh my God, what did Tony D? Guys, what is that? What is that? What is it? I don't know what that was. Whatever. Don't put the blue L's in chat, please. Let's see. Pulling his fib in his new chair. Pump incoming. Shout out to Ash. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Yeah, wow. That was the first fib I ever pulled in the new chair. I'm not going to lie, guys. I'm already got beef with this chair. Can you guys hear it creaking? I'm going to have to oil this thing up. It's squeaky as that. This thing is mad squeaky. Tony D brought me a faulty chair. No, Kate Diggity, get those blue L's out of the chat. I don't know what that is. All right, let's continue on here. Money flow coming to the upside on the 12-hour. Check that daily. Daily money flow, again, just like everything else, has been trending down, but hopefully, and the reason I say this for anybody who's been new, I cover this all the time, but I do just want to talk about this, right? When you see bull runs, right, a lot of times that money flow will come out, but it does tend to fight back into the green. It comes out, comes back into the green. This is actually not a great... a great chart to look at for that. But that's typically, in a bull market, you obviously spend much more time in the green than you do in the red, right? Bull market, you have a massive green wave on your weekly. Then you come into the bear market, you spend all your time in the red. And I will say this, guys. If you look at any coin, right, like especially older coins that have a lot of price history, these weekly money flow crossovers are almost the thing that signals the end of the bear market and the beginning of the bull market. If we take a look at Bitcoin, this is exactly what we looked at to time the buying the bottom, right? We said, well, hey, historically, the bottom has come in when that weekly money flows in the red. Weekly money flow in the red. I've done this a million times, but for anybody new, weekly money flow in the red, and then you have your bottom of the cycle. Money flow crossover into the green on the weekly, you get the big, massive bull run. Money flow crosses over into the red, bottom of the bear market. Money flow crosses back over into the green. This was 2020, so obviously it's a little bit different because you had that black swan event, kind of came into the red again. But that was pretty much, you bought down here, you still bought the bottom regardless of that black swan event, massive bull run, right? Come back here. This is what we did in the beginning of my channel when we were starting up here, coming into the bear market, saying, hey, if that money flow on the weekly comes into the red, this is where we're going to be looking to buy up the bottom of the bear market. And what happens, guys? It wound up playing out perfectly once again, which honestly is kind of crazy. It's like if this plays out again, Bitcoin is hackable. Not technically, but you could literally hack the cycles. Just be patient and wait for those money flow crossovers on the higher time frames. Money flow crosses over into the green, bull market. So, when you're looking at something like Algorand, the chances, in my opinion, of like that being the weekly money flow crossover and like we didn't come into a massive wave and like that was the bull run. A lot of people are like, oh my God, no alt season. I mean, I guess if there was no alt season and we just dumped from here, like that would have to be the case. But like that's extremely unlikely. This is still early in our money flow crossover. What if you were down here early in that money flow crossover back in 2020, buying the bottom of 2020, right? Massive gains ahead, massive gains, right? And again, it's not that it has to be the same amount, but just to kind of give you guys an idea of potentially how early these money flow crossovers are, and just don't be scared, right? Like, we could see pullbacks, we could see shakeouts, right? But like when it comes to the cycle and just like how we typically see this market move, like it would be crazy if this was like, 2021 bull run, boom, massive green money flow, 2024, 2025, nothing, right? ETH doesn't make new all-time highs. It's funny because a lot of people were talking about that, but now that we've pumped, everyone seems to forget that everyone's like, is this the bear market? It's really funny. It just shows you how quickly the sentiment changes in crypto. But that's what I'd be looking at on Algorand. That's the sauce on the lower time frames and the higher time frames as well. Shout out to Jenny. He said, I got so drunk the other night, I couldn't even pull my fib. Shout out to Jenny. Good Lord. Good Lord. Let's see. Yeah, shout out to Eric. $500 chair, no oil. What the heck? Can you guys even? I don't think you guys can hear that. This mic probably won't pick it up because it's super tight. But yeah, it is squeaking. Can you guys hear that? I don't know if you could hear it. It's pretty brutal, though. I hope you can hear it because it's kind of distracting. All right, let's take a quick look at H-bar. We took a look at H-bar earlier today. And then I'll go in for some freestyle. That is not what I want to see. And then we'll go in for some freestyle altcoins. So H-bar, we took a look at this earlier today, right? Looking at this as our key level of resistance, 786 Fibonacci retracement level. This is kind of the doorway to higher prices. We don't want to lose this level, right? Because this is kind of that doorway we needed to come up and attack these highs. Once we break these highs, these are not the all-time high, but this is key, right? Because once we break this, this is what would open up the door to our next extension level, sitting between 43 and 45 cents, almost 46 cents. And let me just kind of, let me clean this up for you guys. Let's pull this volume profile. Boom. Let me just adjust this. Doesn't change it much, but this is your local value area or your current value area. You have your low, your POC, and your value area high. Come up to the 4-hour. Right, so this is your sideways range. This is where you're day trading this thing, or short-term swing trading from the lows to the highs, deviate above the high, go back to the low, deviate the low, look to go back to the high, and then whether you break up or down, this is how we're oftentimes short from the high or long from the top. Short from the high or long from the bottom, because we just day trade this, right? And when we trade in terms of this volume profile, we take that POC1 at the POC, regardless of what direction you're coming from, break the high, go to the POC, lose the POC, go to the low, right? And then once you're at the low, you can look for long positions. But whether this breaks up or down, chances are we're going to be holding some kind of position from the top or from the bottom. Now, I don't trade H-bar necessarily that often, but on Bitcoin, we talk about some of the recent trades that we've taken on Bitcoin in the premium Discord. Where is it? Let me see if I can pull this up, right? Or maybe the current trades. I don't want to leak. There's some new setups in there. I don't want to pull up. I want to be fair to the people who pay. But short from $106,000 down to the value area low, then long from the value area low to the high. And we did have a short setup. I personally missed this position, unfortunately. But then we go back down to low, right? We lose the low. We look for the next long. We go back to the high, right? So if this were to continue to break down, I am stopped out of my long swing short in profit, by the way, guys. I forgot to say that. But when you get into the trades, right, and you're managing your risk correctly, you could take massive profits at your major target. And then if price comes back up and stops you out, you're getting stopped out in profit for a guaranteed winning trade, right? So if price wound up breaking down, let's say price came down here and we wound up losing the low and coming down to that $80,000 target. How did I hit that by accident? It was off the screen. I don't know how that happened. But if we wound up getting this bigger breakdown, I would be holding my short all the way up from $106,000. Right? And it's not because when I shorted here, I knew, it's not like I would have known we were going to 80K. I just expected it to go back to the value area high, back to the POC, back to the value area low, right? And then I move my stop loss, and if it continues down, then we let that winner run. If it comes back up, usually we're in a long from the high. And that's the way that we're either short from the high or long from the low, right? We're long from the low here. If Bitcoin breaks, we're holding that long position, and we're going to be like, hey, we're long from the tippy bottom. We didn't know that was going to necessarily be the big breakout, but when you trade the volume profiles like we do, you get nice day trades and short-term swing trades until one winner just winds up absolutely running and turning into a grand slam. It's a beautiful way to trade. It's like it's the most relaxing way to trade, in my opinion, because you're not just constantly trying to guess whether price is going to yeet to $1 million or not. But for H-bar, this is your range. You've gotten the breakout of the range. In my opinion, the next targets are very simply going to be your Fibonacci extension level sitting right there on our purple box, right? 43 to 45 cents, almost 46 cents. But this is your key level that we need to break, right? We have to hold above this 786 to break that all-time high, or not all-time high, but the current high. And then once you get that, I think you probably see a pretty quick move up into that Fibonacci extension zone. Now, if we get back down below here, does that guarantee that it's a massive move down? No. But this is the first level we needed to get above. And now the only thing holding us back from 43 to 45 cents is that, local high, right? Sitting right here at about 39 cents. Now, key levels of support. Let me get rid of the golden pocket to clean up the chart. Bada boom. Get that 786 out of here. Let's pull our full fib from the high to the low. Boom. Right? So Key level of support, in my opinion, at least looking at the 4 hour, yeah, I'd probably be looking value area high, golden pocket. You really want to hold above this because if you start to lose this level, in order to hit the 786, you got to go below the POC, which is the danger zone, to potentially get the move down to the value area low. The value areas act as magnets, guys. The value area high, the POC, and the value area low act as magnets, and this is why we're able to trade these so efficiently. Get above the high, get stuck back in here. That POC is your next likely place for price to go, right? As a magnet, right? That POC is the strongest magnet within the profile. It'll suck price down there more often than not. This is typically TP1, right? Take profit 1. Once you get below that POC, you look for a move down to the value area low, and like I said, that POC acts as a magnet, but eventually you do wind up coming down and tapping that low. Once you tap the low or deviate below with bullish confirmations, you look to go back up to the POC. That's the next likely place for price to go. Once you hold the POC, you're looking to go to the high. You deviate above the high, you look to come back into the range, go towards the POC. You kind of came out for a fake out here, back to the POC, back to the low. And then what happens? Back to the POC, from the low, back to the POC, back to the low, breakout, right? So we don't want to lose that POC. You do technically have the 786 here. These would be technically the two zones. I hope we don't have to test that 786 though, because if we did, again, I'm not calling for this, but if we did get it, it'd be nice for like a big bounce, right? And a continuation up. However, once you hit that 786, like you're below the POC, which is a key level to potentially get you down to the low. So that's a difficult situation if we come down in there. Now, if we come down, test that value area high, that would be pretty clean, in my opinion. But those are the key levels I'd be looking at. Longer time frame, right? You could find more, hyper local levels here, but I don't want to pull every single retracement that we can, right? Is it this one? Is it this one? Is it this one? Right? I don't want to do that, right? I want to give you guys the actual key levels here. So let's see. Do we have any confluence here from higher time frame perspective? Not really. Not really. You do have a daily sitting right down here below that 786, but we'll cross that bridge if and when we get there. But until then, right, looks like a pretty nice breakout here of that range. Let's see if we can stay above that 786 and attack that high to push into our next Fibonacci target. Get above here, boom. Let's see if we can get up there. All right, other than that, 2-day, higher time frames. It does look, right? Look at that 3-day. Green dot printing. Can we get that bear div? That would call for a push into that level to put the higher high in. Let's see if we can get that to play out just like it did on XRP. All right, let's jump into AVAX now. That's what we're looking at on HBAR. Let's take a look at AVAX. ADA forming an ascending broadening wedge. Shout out to Nirvana. WD-40 probably has specific trading share spray. Yes, they do. They sprinkle a little bit. They sprinkle some Satoshis in there, I think. Shout out to Mert. Says, Frankie, at Trump's last year, 2029, what do you estimate XRP at? Whew. That is impossible to call. Maybe not impossible, but that is really, really difficult call to make. There are so many factors that can come into play from now to 2029. I just typically, I am almost a 100% technical trader. Now, this would obviously be based on, how high it could go by 2029 would have there'd be a lot of things that you would have to pay attention to try to call that. But I will just say this on XRP, my most bullish case, at least for this cycle, is between I would say between $10 and $15, $10 and $14. These are all my XRP targets. Maybe we get up to $20. That would be really, really bullish case for this cycle, in my opinion. I am not waiting to get up to $15 to sell all my XRP. But to call it for 2029, it would be so hard to say. It's just really, really difficult to call. Just because I'm I think that'd be difficult for even people who are not technical traders to call. It's just a super, super far outlook. I wish I could give you a better answer, brother. But yeah, I just could never, I just couldn't call that. XRP will be dead in 2029. Shout out to Jenny. Oh my God. But anyway, let's continue on here back to AVAX real quick. And let's take a look at what we got going on. Well, obviously we are up at our key level of resistance. Nothing really too shocking here. Now, obviously, the volume profile gives you the confidence that once you get above that value area low, that you'll go to the POC, flip the POC, go to the value area high. This is, guys, the volume profiles will change your life. I don't know what to say. I don't know how people don't look at them. It is the best trading tool out there, and it's free on TradingView, I think. If it's not, you could use my indicator, which is, again, 100% free. Frankie Candles Essentials. Come check it out. Buy Lux Algo. It is a fixed range volume profile with some extra sauce. I have videos on the channel to show you how to use this. No strings attached, no email. Just come, search my name, click it, get it on your chart right away. But they will change your life, guys, because really all we did here, minus the volume profile, all we're doing here is finding confluence, right? We hide this volume profile. I would say to myself, when looking at this from a higher time frame perspective, I'd be looking at this and being like, well, hey, if we're bouncing, right, if we come sweep some liquidity below and we start putting in a bottom here, right, we start working our way up, where are we expecting price to go? Well, you look for it to come into the golden pocket 786 retracement. But then when you start to find the confluence with the value area is what gives you the context of like what price is locally going to do. It's like, well, hey, now, you know, I'm expecting a move up into this golden pocket and potentially the 786, by the way, sitting at 42.44. But, you know, when you look at the volume profile, you know now you have a value area low, a POC. Now you kind of have an idea what that journey is going to look like. And you also have context into if price is undervalued or overvalued. Shorts at the highs and deviations above, longs at the lows and deviations below. We are only trading the extremities, right, or the extremes, I should say, of the volume profiles. Short positions up here, long positions down here. Everything else is noise, right? So fulfill the volume profile. Plays out perfectly right into our key level of resistance. I didn't check on this today. I did not know that happened, but not shocking as many things are in this position. So this is definitely resistance. You have a fresh 1 hour green dot. Let's check that 4 hour. Money flow starting to come back up a little bit. Let's check the 3 hour. Yeah, I would be a little bit careful. I mean, you do have some fresh green dots here, but you know, this is key resistance. Even if we're going to go ahead and push above this and come into that 786, which, by the way, if we break above the value area high golden pocket, the next place to expect would be that 786 to the upside. But you do have to be careful because if you put bearish confirmations in here, potentially 2 hour bearish divergences. Now, again, we have a green dot printing here, so I would look to push up a little bit. But you got bearish confirmations here. You could get a cool off, even if it's minor, before coming up to that 786, because you're at resistance and you are potentially seeing your momentum come up with your candles coming higher, right? That's the discrepancy between your momentum and your price action, which typically calls for some kind of correction. But hopefully you could just stick higher lows and get out of here and go to that 786. So next target on AVAX, excuse me, is going to be 42.42. Nice number. And then this is your, sitting right here, top of the golden pocket at $40.76. Get above that. That's where I'd look for that move into the 786. Very simply put. Very, very simply put. Now, if that rejection wound up being super strong, which do I think that's likely? Because you have to remember, right, if you come up here and you reject, right, technically you could potentially come down to the low. But remember, context is king, guys. If money flow's coming up here, money flow on the 6 hours in the green, money flow on the 8 hours in the green, that's not necessarily where you're expecting a full rotation of the range, right? You could just potentially expect higher lows and continuations up. But I would just be careful. You're at resistance here, potential bearish signals popping up. But again, they would be like noise, right? Short-term noise before potentially continuing up. So that's pretty much what I'd be looking at. Daily green dot is confirmed. VWAP rolling over. Let's check that 3-day. Yeah, 3-day green dot is printing. What is this? This is the 2024 lows. Yeah, so I'm actually going to, let me go ahead and I'm going to hide the, I'm going to hide this really quick. Hide that local, and let's pull up the, let me see here. All right, boom, boom. Okay, this is what I wanted. So I'm actually going to pull this up, and I'm going to clean this chart, guys. I'm just going to, bye-bye. Whoops, that's not what I wanted. I just revealed it all. I want to get rid of them. There we go. Okay, so if we look at this from a larger perspective, let's pull that volume profile. Got your low, your POC, and your value area high. So yeah, you go from the low to the POC to the high, deviation to the POC. We did front run that value area low. And I will say this, guys. When we saw Ethereum do that, we front ran that value area low. It did wind up, right? We came down. We went back to the value area high. We did front run that value area low. And what happened? We did get that dump down into this key level. So it does kind of remind me of a similar situation. Like if you just kind of go back between these, looking kind of similar, right? Low 2024 accumulation range, break out into the profile, go to the high, front run the high, go back to the high, back to the low. Accumulation, break into the previous range, back to the high, back to the POC, back to the high, front run of the low. So I don't love that you front ran this value area low. It doesn't guarantee that you have to come back down there, but just for like a little bit more of a grander perspective of things, I just showed you the local analysis, but from a higher time frame perspective, this would technically have to be value area high, POC. Yeah, this would, in my opinion, right? Like, again, money flow is going to trump this for the most part, but I would be somewhat suspicious of these lows here. But it is nice. Yeah, you did clean that wick here. It's not bad. It's not bad. So yeah, just to keep that, key major level of support sitting here at 31.68. But other than that, local analysis remains valid, right? Get up here, go to that 786. But yeah, kind of did local and high time frame for you guys on AVAX. But that's pretty much what I'd be looking at here. Now, in the grand scheme of the larger perspective, if you're looking for this thing to absolutely yoink off into all-time highs, this is that big macro bull market from 2021 volume profile. We are only trading the rotation of value, guys. It is very, once you understand the volume profiles, things become very clear, right? If we just go ahead and hide all this garbage, right? Hide these volume profiles, right? At this point, right, from a high enough time frame, we got the bear breakout of our bear market range, retested the value area high, retested the POC. Like, our goal is to get up in here and flip that value area low at $42, which is, again, very close to those local levels. $42 into that POC value area high. So from like a bull market perspective, your macro key level is sitting here at about $42. Flip that. That's where you see it move into 66. Flip that, $86. And then flip that. That's where you're potentially looking to go into all-time highs. So again, from a bull market perspective here, guys, pull up the weekly time frame. Like, there is, we've been in the green here for a little bit, but we never really came into that massive green wave that we'd like to see in bull market. So hopefully we can drag back up here and see this thing yoink off. But that's a little bit of a simpler perspective to look at things in. So let me just grab this. Okay, macro range. And then we got the local range. Bada boom. And then we have all this other stuff. I'll clean this chart up later. But that's what I'm looking at on AVAX, guys. So I don't know if you're looking for local or macro, but there's all of it. So there you go. Let's see. Thoughts on Algorand. Shout out to Mert. We actually just did Algo. It was the first altcoin that we looked at, so just scrub back a little bit and you get the sauce on Algo. Shout out to V-Sun, said, yo, people, Algo TA coming. It's on Rob's list. Wait, did we not look at... We looked at Algorand, didn't we? Yeah, it was with the low volume gap, no? Am I tripping? Did we not look at... What did we look... No, we did Algorand, didn't we? Can somebody who's been here since the beginning of the stream let me know? We did Algorand, I believe. Right? That's where we had the low volume gap. Why is it not on the chart here, though? BTC trying to push. Shout out to Alex. Let's see it. Oh, God, 100. Oh, come on, baby. Come on, Bitcoin. Come on. Break into the local value area high. Let me pull up the main range. I want to get the... All right, yeah, come on, baby. Come on. Push up. We got our doorway to higher prices here at 101.652. How is it that you can draw accurately with a mouse? Shout out to Kevin. I don't know. A lot of practice. We used to do chart, which is chart art, where we would draw very, very specific patterns. And it was we were going to make them NFTs, but we just wound up never doing that. But yeah, I could draw, I love Bart Simpson patterns. We love drawing those out, right? You got a little Bart, right? We draw out that ear, right? Bada boom. You guys want to see some chart here? There we go. Look at that. Frankie Candle's the artist. Let's go. Trying to draw a tongue in there. It's a little hard. But there you go. A little bit of chart art for y'all. Let's get it. Draw a bunny. All right, here we go. Here's my best best shot at a bunny. Looking like Batman, guys. Okay, we're down a rabbit hole now. No pun intended. All right, well, looks like we're drawing the MetaMask sign. Okay, I didn't plan for any of this, guys. I did not plan for any of this. This is actually looking like MetaMask. All right, now it's looking like a cat. So we'll draw the whiskers. There we go. That's a bunny. That's a bunny if I've ever seen one. Unbelievable. It's a cat. Shout out to Michael Snelling. Welcome in, guys. Welcome in. All right, let's continue on. Zua Satoshi. Okay, so we did do algo. I wish I was in the stream so I could scrub back. I believe we did I believe we did charades. Yo, shout out to Kate Diggity. Yeah, we did do algo. Should I just go over it one more time in case we did miss it? I'm almost positive. Yes, we did do algo. Scrub back a little bit for Algorand, guys. But, pretty much you're looking to break into this low volume gap, right, which we're tapping our head on right now. If we can get accepted in here, we may be able to fill it up to between 71 and 81 cents. Yeah, we did look at this. We pulled the fib and everything. So just scrub back a little bit until you see a chart that looks like this, and this is Algorand. You get all the sauce on that. All right, let's continue on, guys. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Yeah, that's alpha, guys. Those getting good at drawing on your chart will, contrary to popular belief, make you better at trading. It'll make you more profitable. All right, let's see. A Supra would be nice. Shout out to Peter Ott. Are you looking to buy a Supra? Is that what you're saying? I like the Supras. The new Supras are basically BMWs, but, obviously the old Supras are the goats. But the new Supras are kind of dope, too. I'm not going to lie. A lot of people hate on them. I kind of like them. They're like, oh, nice BMW. It's like, okay, cool. Supras are fire. All right, let's see. VeChain. We have not taken a look at VeChain in quite some time. Let's take a quick look here. So VeChain, oh, okay, nice. God, I personally have not looked at VeChain in a long time. But yeah, I mean, this is holding up pretty nice, right? You got the breakout of your lower range. You came to test your previous area of balance. Remember, when price impulses out of a value area, you're simply looking for it to gravitate towards your next previous area of balance. We got the breakout here. We gravitated towards that value area low. Came back in the range, broke out again, actually came into the previous value area. So this is pretty simple. Your key doorway to higher prices is right here. You got to get above this level. Once you flip this to support, that's what opens up the door to fill this range in full up to 0.085 to 14 cents. Now, locally, I'm going to go through this, do a little bit of a speed run here. You have this nice clean volume profile here, nice clean area of balance. Poof, man, maybe we should be trading VeChain. It's like perfect longs and perfect shorts here through the range. But let's see here. Yeah, I mean, if you could stick this money flow coming up on your 4-hour, you get that 4-hour money flow crossover into the green, you get your trend to continue up here, you're not far, right? You're only about, 13% from that key level. Flip that to support. That's where we can see things start to get exciting. If we pull up our visible range volume profile, pull up a daily time frame here. Come on, volume. There it is. So we flew through that low volume gap. Yeah, you get up in here. Not going to lie. You can see, once you break this level, it's like, you're looking to fly through that low volume gap to push up into this POC. So I would say get up in here. Whoa. Push up in here. You have pretty low volume leading up to that POC. That's pretty much exactly what we saw here. You came up, pushed through that low volume gap, and you started projecting the volume levels that you had here. Just barely front ran that POC, but hopefully on this next approach, get above here, see that POC, and then see that value area high. That's what I would hope. Shout out to VeChain, the official blockchain of the UFC. But let me come down here to current chat. Let's see. Thank you guys for being here. Don't forget to smash that like button, guys. If we hit 1,000 likes, I don't know where we're at. Probably nowhere near 1,000 likes, but we need Bitcoin to pump heavier to get 1,000 likes. But if we do get it, we will be giving away $150 in Solana on Friday night's live stream. Thank you, Rob, dropping that smash the like chat. I appreciate you, bro. Let me get to that POC. Shout out to BG going to the POC. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to CJ. We did take a look at H-bar. We dropped all the sauce. Just scrub back a little bit, and you'll get everything you need on that. AIOZ, let's take a quick look. AIOZ. Do I have this on my watch list? Hang on one sec. I think I might already have a chart open for AOIZ. I could be wrong. Yeah, I think I'm thinking of IOTX. AOIZ. So hang on. Let me pull up my actual altcoin chart for AOIZ. Bear with me. There it is. Did I start the chart is the question. Maybe not. Okay, so I'll just do it over here. All right, so let's see here. AOIZ. Let's mark this out. Let's come on over to the weekly. Mark out some of those key weekly levels. That is tapped. This is not. So you got, let me just go ahead and, these are weeklies. And then you got another one up here, which is not tapped, just barely. Let's take a look at the dailies real quick. I'll just mark these out as fast as I can. I'm not going to mark out every single one, but I'm just going to get the relevant ones here. That is tapped. That is not. Boom. Speed charts with Frankie Candles. Boom. You got another daily up here. Bada bing. And then you got that's tapped. That's tapped. You got this daily up here that is untapped. And there we go. Okay, so those are your key higher time frame levels. Let's take a look at 10-hour. Okay, so let me just go ahead, put these in a folder. This is like a speed tutorial on how to organize your charts, guys. Put it in the object tree, high time frame, levels, boom. So we could hide that. I'm going to pull my macro profile, something like this. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. Let's grab it. Boom. Low, POC, and your value area high. Boom. Main value area. Boom. All right, so now we have a little bit of a we have some kind of bearings on what's going on here. Do also want to pull this as well. This is a significant balance. Significant balance. Okay, let me just precisely. Boom, there we go. Speed charts with Frankie Candles, baby. Let's go. That's probably a bounce off the POC. Yep. Boom, boom, boom. Hide that. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. Boom. Okay, and then you have your lower range here. Wow. Should we just share this for free? Should we just share this one chart? You guys want my very, very quickly made AOIZ chart. Bada boom. Lower range. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so locally, this is what we got. Let's jump in. So, yeah, you're above your value area, right? You got up. Flip that value area low to support. So technically, the next likely place for price to go is where? Let me know in the chat. Somebody tell me. It's that POC of the range. I front ran you guys. I know. I'm sorry. I got the new chair. I'm all hyped up, baby. I'm all hyped up. I got the Aztecian cactus moss water. I'd still be figuring out all that. Shout out to Cryptomaniac. Visa said these two Dutch are at it again, respectfully, politely fighting. Gotta love the Dutch for many reasons. Yo, you guys are funny. Who's fighting in the chat, guys? Hug each other. Please, for the love of God, guys, be nice to each other. You guys are funny. Okay, so let's continue on here. So pretty much your key level to hold here is going to be 93 cents. Hold above 93 cents. The doorway to that POC at $1.08 is open. And I will say your 1 hour money flow is crossing over into the red with an incoming red dot on the 16 hour. Now, again, this doesn't mean you're definitely going to go to zero, but it's probably likely that you could get some kind of a cool off. But your key zone of support or your key level of support is very much going to be that 93 cent level. Wish you had a little more confluence there, but 93.5 cents, as long as you hold above that, the doorway to the value area high is open, right? I'm sorry, the POC is open. Flip the POC, that opens the door to your value area high. But yeah, for the most part, you're just kind of in your range. You deviated below the low, flipped it to support. Let's see if we can work our way up there, but I would just be careful of some kind of potential short-term pullback based off that 1 hour money flow crossover with the 16-hour red dot. So just be careful of that. Yeah, I mean, hopefully you could hold this local fib. I actually pulled it technically to the wrong level. There we go. Whoops. Boom. Speed tour. Speed tour. Okay. There we go. Boom, boom, boom. So, yeah, really what you want to do, if you do pull back heavier, you want to hold this level to get back up to that POC. But key levels, value area low 93.5, POC 108, value area high 118. Daily money flow in the red. That's not, I'll be honest with you guys, that's not really what you want to see. Getting rejected pretty heavily there at the zero line with the red dot incoming. I don't love that. I don't love that for AOIZ. Take a look at the 3-day. Yeah, 3-day green dot trying to, yeah, 3-day green dot is printing. So that's kind of the setup we saw in XRP, but I don't love that daily money flow coming out. 5-day money flow in the red. Yeah, so we would have to be visualizing this as a fake out into the red for a push back up into the green. But yeah, I don't like this daily money flow in the red. That's technically, from a technical perspective, that is a bearish signal, guys. That is a bearish signal. So yeah, I would be careful of that. But you have your key levels now. If you lose that 786, I would not. That's not what we want to see. That's probably going to give you a bigger drop down towards these lows at about 75 cents. But hopefully we can hold this zone and just continue up here and get that money flow to come back into the green. That's what I would be looking for on AOIZ. Let's see. Can we check Sheeb? Is it dead? Let's take a look. No problem. Shout out to Set. Let's take a quick look at Sheeb. Let me pull up the live stream chart real quick. So for Sheeb, what is it? Is it the Coinbase chart? Where's my real Sheeb chart here? There it is. Is Sheeb dead? I don't personally think so. Pretty much what we saw here was accumulation, big breakout, and just goes to show here, guys. You could see you get above the value area low, into the POC, into the high. It doesn't always happen that quickly, but once you reject the high, you go to the POC, lose the POC, go to the low. Then we lost that value area, and the reason I bring this up because this was so far in the past, but the reason I bring this up is because when you pull from the low to the high, your full golden pocket 786 retracement came in between the value area high and the POC of that range. We came down, retested the golden pocket, wicked into that POC, which price does often like to do before continuing up. So, with that being said, your key level here, we are back inside our volume profile. We got the rip up into the POC. We're cooling off. We're back down to the value area low. If you lose this POC, this value area low, this is bearish, right? This is not what you want. At this point, you want to hold above this low in order to go back to the POC and potentially continue up. If you lose this value area low, now that we've tapped this golden pocket, I will say this. Let me grab that golden pocket. I'll take it off because we've already tapped that. So now your key level of support is really between the value area high and then the 786 POC. So really this is your next zone of support. But if you lose this, I mean, you do have support down below as well at this point, right? You can pull this. Yeah, we'll cross that bridge if we get down there. But for the most part, if you hold above this level at 2041, that keeps your, as long as you're within this range, that, I would not be that worried about Sheep, right? You lose this, technically, the next major support levels down here. Because if you're looking at this as two value areas, you lose this value area, right? Just like this. Once you leave this, your thought is that you're going to come into this next value area, hopefully to fill the range in full, which we did get. Once you lose this upper value area, right, pulled from the highs here in 2021, right? Once you lose this value area, you're looking to come back down towards the next previous area of balance. What happens? You get support, and you come back into your other area, right? So for the most part, like if you lose this, you might just wind up coming back down there. But I will say this. Hopefully, you could do something like that. That's kind of what I would hope for on Sheep. A nice little kind of inverted head and shoulders type thing. But I will just tell you, the technical level here is your value area low at 2041. You lose that, could get a little bit ugly. You do have, let's pull from the low to the high. Yeah, I mean, I don't hate this, right? Like you've come up, you've tested your golden pocket. Technically, the 786 sitting right here at about 1565 is another level that you might be able to bounce off of. But, we got up, went to the POC, retested the golden pocket. Hopefully, we could just put in that higher low and get that rip through this volume profile up to the POC, up to the value area high. POC sitting at 2759. Value area high sitting at 4627. Let's do a quick check-in on Bitcoin here. So Bitcoin just kind of bing-bonging around here. Let's pull up the current chart. Just bing-bonging around here. Let's turn off some of these levels. Turn off the dailies, naked points of controls, and then let's just go ahead and take a look here. So, guys, this is the key zone. Like, we got to get out of this value area for Bitcoin. 100,760 is technically the value area high, but your doorway to higher prices on Bitcoin. 101,652. Get above that golden pocket. Look to come up, grab this liquidity, fill it very quickly into our 786 at 104K. I repeat, if we break $101,652 and we come take these highs, we could quickly get a push into that 786. We'll see if we can get it. But until we do that, until we flip this, this is key resistance. So I would be looking for bearish confirmations up here as this is a key resistance level for a potential cool-off. Lose the POC. That's your key level that you do not want to lose in order to see that move down to the golden pocket sitting closer to 93,604. So that's what we're looking at. You're at resistance. 45-minute green dot printing. Oh, interesting. And if we're going to get a bigger cool off here, guys, 12 and 16-hour red dots are going to be the thing to look for, in my own personal opinion, just because our 45-minute money flow and 1-hour money flow are about to cross over into the red. If you get those things to happen at the same time, might see something similar to what happened all the way back here last time we had that setup take place. Back to the POC, back down towards that value area low. So just be careful of that. But we have those key levels of support. If you missed the original analysis on Bitcoin, we break down all the key levels and what I'm expecting here moving forward. But do you guys hear that squeaking? Please tell me you guys can hear that. Tony D gave me a faulty chair, guys. But with all that being said, guys, that's all the time we got for tonight's live stream. I appreciate every single one of you guys for hanging out with us and sticking around till the end of the stream. All 799 of you guys. Smash that like button on your way out. And until tomorrow, I will see you guys. Let's see. Bitcoin is bipolar. Yeah, shout out to Gordon. Timu chair. Shout out to Set. Yeah, I will say this, guys. I will say this. Compared to my last chair, this thing do look very, very, this is pretty high quality. It's, oh my God. I just broke it. Well, anyway, Tony D, where did you get this chair? Tony D, are you in the chat, bro? Did you get me a faulty chair? Was that supposed to happen? Oh, they're magnets. I've never had a Secret Labs chair, guys. Sorry, I'm a noob at Secret Labs. All right, there we go. It's back on. It's back on. I thought it broke. Let's see. XRP help. Shout out to Tom. We looked at XRP. Just scrub back. We give you all the sauce on XRP. Everything you need to know. Just scrub back a little bit. But yeah, what a ripoff. New chair, new time. Oh no, new chair time. Yeah, we need a double new chair, guys. Unbelievable. Let's see. See you tomorrow. Shout out to Jesse. Thank you for being here, bro. I appreciate you. But guys, that's all the time I got for tonight's live stream. Thank you for tuning in. Smash that like button on the way out. V-Sun says that chair is a scam. Tony D must have bought a Temu Secret Labs chair and pocketed the difference. Tisk, tisk, Tony D. But anyway, guys, I'll see you right here. Same place, same time. Tomorrow, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Frank Candles YouTube channel. That's all I got. Go touch some grass and pray that Bitcoin can get out of this range and we don't have to dump that back down towards that POC and potentially lower. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hasta pasta. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong!
Look what's next for me, Joe. I'm gonna get that second bell. Where the f is it? They should have had them 2 bells ready. Spit shine for me.
Yeah. Head up in the clouds, dog, they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test. Now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, don't know what is in me. I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I've been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up for my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working them up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in my, yeah.
Come on, Mrs. Candles. Oh, God. Mrs. Candles, you're going to kill me here. Whew. That's not what it looked like, guys. That's not what it looked like. That's not what it looked like. Shout out to Tony D. We did CPR on Mrs. Candles last night. I needed to... thank you for leaving this, Tony. I had to use that thing that you left here. But anyway, come pick that up because it's yours, Tony. But anyway, guys, I gotta continue CPR here. I gotta go. Thank you for the chair, Tony. Everybody, Frankie Candle's new chair. Shout out to Tony D. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hasta pasta. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like, yeah, you about to see me on demand like, you know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah. On the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah. On the roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go.
She's back, guys. She's back and fully inflated. Hasta pasta. Bing bong.